Been kissed by the road on the grave. Whatever that song is. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Strength Classroom. Today I'm showing you my max effort lower body workout. Just warming up with some weighted jumps. You know, I don't have a trap bar, else I would try to do these with the trap bar, but I prefer them probably with kettlebells. Can't load up as much weight, but it's easier to load on my body and easier to get the exercise started. And I don't think that much load is going to give you that much more benefit anyway. Yeah, so let's get into it. So I decided to do barbell back squats for the first time in a long time. Last time I did them, I did 405 for 4. Literally, that was the last time I did squats with a barbell on my back, straight bar, I should say. And the hardest part here, not was stabilizing the bar on my back, but I have to get better shoulder mobility because I did feel like it was a bit tight because I wasn't used to this. So maybe a couple of times per week, I'll do some stuff with the bar behind the head, and it should pay off in the long run. That was 375. Then this is 415, and it's going very well. My box squat form is really carrying over to free squats, and here's 455, and I really enjoyed that grind. I hope you can go back and watch that again. There was zero form breakdown there, just a nice smooth rep. So it's 455. Last time I tested my squat for max effort purposes, I think it was a 440. Maybe even lower than that because I was severely out of shape at the time, and then I injured my hip and whatnot. So 455, I will take that. It's definitely not a 10 out of 10 eye bleeding squat, but those should be few and far between, especially if your goal is not powerlifting. Then my main accessory of the day is these rounded back safety squat bar. Safety squat bar. Good mornings. Sets of 8 to 12 is what I'm going for. A lot of people say good mornings don't carry over to anything, and I'd like to tell those people to hold their breath and you can breathe until I'm finished. And until I tell you to. Sorry, I completely mangled that line. Good mornings, the style I'm doing them, I am literally trying to look between my legs. I'm trying to stretch out the spinal erectors as far as I can, keep the hips as high as I can. This is a good angle. And you can really see it's really engaging my erectors, my upper back. You can just see the musculature, the extreme juicy musculature popping through my shirt there. Why? Because it's being forced to work by this bar. This will help you get stronger in the thoracic area, which will carry over to squats. It will carry over to deadlift strength as well. Good mornings are a great exercise. Don't compare them to Romanian deadlifts because they are two very, very different exercises that accomplish some of the same things, but very different things at the same time. If you can imagine a Venn diagram, the middle is going to be very small between those two exercises. Then, what we have here is kettlebell front squats. I just wanted to pump up my legs some more, but not something that I had to load up super heavy, so I wanted it to be challenging in a different regard. So the kettlebell rack position really works your upper back. It even works your biceps to an extent, but it allows you to squat super deep, hit your quads, hit your glutes. It even hits your hamstrings. This is 70-pound kettlebells each. I wanted it to be more of like, let's say, a higher rep endurance exercise, and that's why I went with sets of 10. I do have 80-pound kettlebells that I can move up to, but I want this to be really high reps. So I'm either, instead of increasing the reps, I'm either going to slow down the tempo, I'm going to pause at the bottom. So many things I can do with this variation instead of just increasing the reps. Sorry, the weight. Then afterwards, I wanted to go for some single leg stuff. So I did, it's like offset. So whatever leg I was working, I put the weight on the other side. So just a lunge variation, which went surprisingly well with my hip injury, hip, abdominal, that area all ties in together. It went surprisingly well, considering body weight lunges used to fucking bother that area. So for this to For me to be able to do this weighted for a decent amount of reps, every set was 12, is fantastic for me. I thought I was gonna set myself back doing this exercise, but this is freaking fantastic. I'm elated, honestly, with how this worked out. It's not the biggest amount of weight in the world, but it's more about the quality of movement right now, and the fact that I'm able to have quality of movement with additional load. It's just, chef's kiss. Here, we just have a bunch of different angles. So I did 3 sets of 12, just like I did 3 sets of 10. So it was a very lunge and squat focused day. Why? Because my lower body dynamic effort day is more of a hamstring and posterior chain day. So I got the sumos there, I have the GHRs there, I do have some split squats, but I feel like so many people get tied up in being quad dominant. Listen, no one's quad dominant. You're hamstring weak. I learned that from Jim Wendler a long time ago, because so many people would say, oh, you got to get your hamstring stronger, which is true. Don't get me wrong. But you don't neglect quad training altogether because you have weak hamstrings. That is a recipe for disaster. And just because I'm OCD and I'm just like, oh my God, my hamstrings are going to turn to pieces of floss because I didn't do a dedicated hamstring exercise, which realistically, the good mornings were a good hamstring exercise. But this is a good idea to keep things maintenance, keep the tendons healthy. Instead of doing Nordics and glute ham raises and something dedicated like that, just get a band, set it higher than your knees, and do 100 reps of band hamstring curls. This is great for getting blood in the tendons, the ligaments, all the things that really don't get hit. I'm obviously speeding this up because I'm sure you didn't want to see 2 minutes of me doing hamstring curls. Then I finished off for this workout with, it's a core exercise that hits kind of like all the angles. And it's a grip exercise in a way when you have to transfer the bell from arm to arm. But as you can imagine, you're resisting the bell in all directions as you are spinning it around. So it could be quite an effective exercise for your core. You can do these on, you can't really do it seated. I've only done these kneeling and standing. As you can imagine, kneeling would be a lot harder. Now, I apologize for this. I upgraded my software and I don't know where the hell all my transitions went. You'll notice the intro was different. I don't know. Do you like this outro? Let me know in the comments. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day.